Oh my gosh, have you heard the latest? Meghan Markle is reportedly suing Netflix after they canceled her show. Yes, suing. I mean, seriously, can this story get any messier? So here's the tea. She's apparently demanding millions. Some people are whispering she's just trying to grab some quick cash, while others think maybe, just maybe, she's got a real reason. But buckle up, because this drama takes a wild turn.
Netflix have heard the noise against these two. I know she loves them.
She never stops whining.
No.
Meghan Markle Googled, is the race card an actual car?
I love your Luke.
Sorry, what's that?
Your Luke. You look amazing. Your Luke.
My Luke. My
Luke. My
Yes.
look. She likes my Luke.
Your voice is driving me crazy and I'm about to jump over there and put my fists down your throat.
It's not very good, is it? And I mean, that's putting it mildly. What's been so interesting is I regarded the advent of With Love Meghan rather like I regarded root canal surgery. It's one of those things that you know it's coming. You really don't want it to
be unethical.
Easier to watch than the Harry and Meghan versus everybody else show we did a couple of years ago. It's actually worse because the Harry and Meghan show at least had newsworthy lines, it at least had some purpose to it.
I've never seen someone that struggles to just give us like one strip of authenticity.
I think the woke have been asleep.
Oh my gosh, I work so hard.
You're complaining about your hard life and you're so privileged. It's just so weird.
It's ridiculous.
I'm searching for something to like about her, and it's so hard.
Well, if Meghan and Harry can quit their family, you can too.
Markle, but she calls herself Meghan Sussex in the show. And you keep thinking, is this going to be the new Meghan Sussex that we see? But there's all these bizarre touches in it. Like at one point, she says that she's going to have pretzel bags made up and they're individually personalised.
Okay, so Netflix cancels Meghan's show, and instead of just letting it go, she's allegedly gearing up for a lawsuit. That's right, lawsuit. Word on the street is Meghan is furious and wants to take legal action against Netflix for axing her series, With Love, Meghan. But here's where it gets seriously bizarre. Suddenly, her team is saying it wasn't even supposed to be a documentary. Nope, now they're claiming it was actually meant to be, wait for it, a cooking show. Are you kidding me? We've all seen the promos. This was supposed to be an emotional docuseries all about philanthropy, healing, and heartfelt storytelling. And now, out of nowhere, they're rebranding it as some kind of foodie series with recipes and reflections in the kitchen. Naturally, the internet is completely confused. People are like, did Netflix cancel a cooking show? Or a glorified PR campaign disguised as avocado toast? Honestly, it feels like a last-ditch effort to change the narrative. And insiders are whispering that this whole lawsuit thing might not even be about justice. It's damage control. But wait, it gets weirder.
Yes, it really is that awful. I may have blacked out from smacking myself in the head.
I know that Daniel loves peanut butter. I'm still going to label this. You always want to be conscious if someone has a nut allergy.
And there's another moment where this wonderfully demeaning and high-handed...
Yeah. Yes, finally. Yes, hallelujah. I always have to give a preamble to whenever I talk about Meghan and Harry and say, I don't know them, I'm not haters, I don't care. But I think the way they have taken their 2 days, because they were really working.
Here's what no one's saying out loud. Behind closed doors, Meghan's team is reportedly livid. They claim Netflix completely hijacked her original vision for the show. Can you believe it? Insiders say with love, Meghan was never meant to be some dramatic royal saga. Oh no, they say it was always supposed to be light and feel good. A cooking meets lifestyle type vibe focused on healing through food, sharing community stories, and all that uplifting stuff. Her camp is now arguing that Netflix twisted the entire idea just for the headlines and basically sabotaged what could have been a beautiful, empowering brand moment. Yikes. They're now even floating the idea that Meghan's creative rights were violated and that Netflix basically dragged her name through the mud to get views. But people aren't buying it. Apparently, the original pitch Netflix greenlit had nothing to do with cooking. And this new food twist? It's giving major rewrite the past energy. Just wait. It gets even messier.
I just think she's crying for sympathy, playing the victim, when there's nothing to be a victim about, and there's also no sympathy to be granted for this lifestyle that she's chosen to live.
And basically commercialize their experience in the royal family. And commercialize the royal family is so disrespectful to the Queen, who has basically dedicated her life in service to the royal family. I've always said I think a lot of the things they've done after leaving the royal family has been very tacky, in particular the Oprah interview. But I think this was probably the final straw for me because I just thought, wow, you're just running with it shamelessly, right? This is the Queen's Jubilee year and you just have no shame in what you're doing. And I think people are sick of it. What else are they going to say? There's nothing interesting about them anymore.
We've talked for ages about You don't want to be part of something and then you go there moaning about press intrusion, you sign this big deal. Delighted it's Can. I cannot...
This next twist? Absolutely unhinged. Meghan's team is now digging in, insisting, yes, insisting, that with Love, Meghan was always supposed to be a heartfelt cooking show. Seriously? You mean the same series with royal drama, emotional breakdowns, and awkwardly staged charity scenes? That was a cooking show. They're calling it a healing through meals concept, where Meghan would cook dishes tied to her personal stories, culture, and community. Sounds sweet, if it were true. But here's the problem. According to multiple sources, not one production document, not one pre-production note, and not one budget sheet said anything about a cooking show. No kitchen setup, no recipe segments, not even a knife on screen. Critics are literally laughing, saying this sudden cooking show narrative is a straight-up joke. Like, if it was really about food, where was the food? It's giving PR spin, not creative vision. But Netflix? Oh, they were not going to stay quiet.
40 minutes into the podcast, this little picture, quite a grainy picture, flashed up, which shows a basket of, homemade preserves with a card on it, HRH. Duchess of Sussex, Meghan.
You dropped off this gift basket with ice creams, homemade strawberry sauce to put on top of the ice cream.
I find it a little bit cringe to give a gift to a close friend and sign it Her Royal Highness.
Why even in private? She's using that full title, Her Royal Highness.
I would never refer to myself as Her Royal Highness.
They won't let me call myself Her Royal Highness anymore, but I'm going to put it all over my stationery and on the gifts that I give to my friends.
This is what I forget, the virtue signalling and all that. I don't know how he and she can, through this Archewell Foundation, can say things like, we won't rest until we've created world peace. Do you know what? You don't even know what honestly, it's almost so condescending. And for me, just go back to...
And oh boy, Netflix hit back hard. Sources inside the streaming giant are reportedly pushing back on Meghan's version of events, and they're not holding back. According to internal leaks, the show was pitched and greenlit as a documentary series. Plain and simple, they say there was never a food angle. Like, ever. Not a single mention of recipes or cooking segments. No budget was set aside for a kitchen set, food stylists, or anything that even resembles a culinary show. And now, Netflix insiders believe this whole cooking show thing is just a late-stage excuse. A way to deflect after the backlash and make it seem like they messed it up, not Meghan. Some internal memos are even accusing Meghan of changing the story after the show flopped, just to shift the blame from her own creative choices. Oof, and believe it or not, the spin only gets deeper.
Trying to sell herself as this wholesome mother who's baking cookies and making tea for the rest of the family.
And this was one of the most every mother out there will understand. She wants us to put together a fruit crudité board for our children in the morning. Now, look... Maureen,
I can't.
Look at this.
I can't.
But I'm not surprised, because Netflix have probably gone, it's not going to work. Maybe Netflix have heard the noise against these two. I know she loves them.
Well, I mean, it's... Sharon, I would love to hear what you have to say about this.
Well, I'm like, welcome to the industry. You wanted to be a part of it.
She is doing a cooking show on Netflix. I only watched 5 seconds of it, and I thought she was going to cut her wrist by trying to zest a lemon. This girl has never been in the kitchen in her life.
I don't like her. That's what everybody says.
Yeah.
Everybody who works for her quits. Everybody says she's a bully. She's very nasty. Not only is she incredibly controlling, but she's a bitch about it to everybody who works for her. When things inevitably start spiraling downward, she blames everyone but herself.
Welcome. It happens so many times to so many people. And I mean, they're, I didn't think the idea was great in the beginning. The story we've heard is a million, you've seen it a million times. But anyway, this is not an unusual thing.
Just when you thought this drama hit rock bottom, it spirals even further. Right after Netflix dropped the show, Meghan's team kicked into full-on PR damage control. Suddenly, the failed documentary was being rebranded everywhere as this misunderstood cooking show. Reporters were being quietly tipped off. Sympathy pieces started popping up in magazines. Stories about how Netflix butchered her idea. Total victim narrative. But guess what? Industry insiders aren't falling for it. Many are saying this whole lawsuit buzz has nothing to do with real legal grounds. It's all about salvaging public image after her brand took a nosedive. Let's be real. Meghan's had a rough run lately. Inflated stories, weird edits, and now this? Her credibility is hanging by a thread. And now she's trying to shift the spotlight from herself to Netflix? Classic deflection move, but it gets even wilder. Get this, she's reportedly not just blaming Netflix for the show's failure. Oh no, she's blaming them for the collapse of her entire lifestyle brand. Sources close to Meghan say she's convinced that the negative buzz around With Love, Meghan ruined ruined the momentum for her latest venture, her brand, American Riviera Orchard, aka As Ever. She allegedly believes Netflix mishandled the release, let damaging leaks spread, and didn't protect her image when things went south. Basically, she's saying the cancellation didn't just hurt her show, it tanked her whole business rollout. But come on, critics are calling this a major reach. Let's be honest, the show's content kinda spoke for itself. Leaks or no leaks, people saw right through the overly scripted scenes and recycled storylines. Shifting the blame? Not a great look. And what comes next? Total Hollywood chaos. Okay, now here's where things get downright chaotic. Hollywood? Yeah, it's reportedly over it. After the Netflix fiasco, insiders say Meghan's reputation has taken such a hit that major players are quietly backing away. We're talking producers, publicists, execs who once rolled out the red carpet for her. They're now calling her too risky. Can you believe that? Apparently, behind the scenes, they're whispering that working with Meghan is just way too messy. The constant drama, the shifting narratives, the headlines, the spin. It's all just exhausting. One exec even said, and I quote, "Meghan burns bridges faster than she can build them." Ouch. Now, invitations are drying up, brand deals are stalling, and the same Hollywood that once treated her like royalty is pulling back fast. It's like one misstep after another and the industry is over the drama. But wait, because even the lawsuit itself, yeah, that's starting to look sketchy too. So let's talk about this lawsuit because legal experts are already poking holes in the whole thing. From what we know, there's apparently no strong evidence that With Love, Meghan was ever meant to be a cooking show. Like, none. No documented pitch, no food-related production plans, no contract suggesting anything close to a culinary format. The project was officially described as a documentary series. Plain, simple, without solid paperwork proving otherwise. Most lawyers say this legal threat is weak at best. Some even think the lawsuit isn't real legal action at all, but just a publicity stunt to paint Meghan as the poor, betrayed creative. If it ever did go to court, Netflix's legal team reportedly has email receipts, production memos, the whole thing locked and loaded. They are ready. So if Meghan's camp thought this lawsuit would be a slam dunk, yikes. And here's the kicker, even Meghan's own fans are starting to turn. Want to know what Meghan's camp doesn't want to admit? People are over it. After weeks of confusing PR spins, rebranding the show, and trying to sue Netflix, even her supporters are like, "Girl, what is going on?" Social media's full of people calling out the pattern. First, it was the royals, then the media, now Netflix. Like, why is everybody else always the villain? And this whole victim storyline, it's getting old, fast. People feel like they're being played. The timing of this lawsuit plus the sudden transformation of the show into a cooking series, it's all just too convenient. Even longtime fans are raising their eyebrows and saying, "Meghan, come on, enough already." But just when you think it can't get any worse, it does. So here's the big one. Brace yourself. Insiders are saying streaming platforms and studios are now putting Meghan on internal caution lists, like actual lists. That's how bad it's gotten. Her name is being flagged as a reputation risk. Let that sink in. Projects are getting shelved, meetings are being quietly canceled, the buzz around her next move, it's going dead silent. What started as a glamorous Hollywood comeback post-royalty has basically snowballed into one disaster after another. And this lawsuit, if it was meant to be a comeback play, it may have totally backfired. Instead of sympathy, it's just stirring more drama. Instead of reclaiming control of her image, it's just confirming what critics have been saying for months. At this point, it's not even about Netflix or a cooking show. It's about the narrative falling apart, and fast. So what do you think? Is this really about justice, or is it just another attempt to flip the story and dodge the blame? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. We've got more jaw-dropping breakdowns just like this coming your way.